guys. Kind of funny way to start a live stream. I went to do a loop pedal jam and there was already a loop on there. It remembered the last loop that I had, even though it had gotten unplugged. But today I just wanted to have a general hang. So as you guys join, just let me know if the audio is good. And I'm basically just going to talk to you about some new things that are coming up. Some of them will be on this channel and some of them will be on this new second channel that I'm doing. I wanted to get your opinion on some things because the new channel is going to be kind of based on vertical format, whereas this is mostly horizontal videos. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But for now, who all is watching, just go ahead and let me know in the chat. And I'm going to play a little bit of music to get us started, and then we'll just talk about some things, and then I'll open it up for questions. All right. And if you have an idea for what kind of song you want to hear, I'll be playing songs throughout. So just let me know if there's one you want to hear or a style or something. So let's see. Hey Robert, how's it going? All right, guys. So I just want to talk briefly about what these new changes are. There's not really going to be much change to this particular channel. I'm going to keep doing things as normal. Hey, Seth, how's it going? So first of all, that means kind of having some more review videos coming up soon. As some of you guys already know, I went to Uke Republic recently, and that's where I get most of my U-basses. I actually bought this one there, and the Wanderer and the Exotic Mahogany. The only one I didn't buy there was the non-Kala one. So the no-name brand, the Muso or whatever company that was, the fretless one. So so yeah, so that's kind of the idea. But on this channel, I'm going to keep doing reviews. I'm going to keep doing live streams like this. And basically just everything's going to stay the same here. But I've tried doing vertical video on this channel, and what I've kind of found is some of you guys, I think, just like watching this on the computer. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But the reason I started a new channel is because I want to find the people that are just watching on their phones and just give them some content too. Or if you happen to be watching your phone, you may want to just decide to watch some of the content on that channel then. And then if you're watching stuff on your desktop, watch this channel. So I know I had a question recently just about why not do them on the same channel. And that's really the main reason, is so that I can kind of go back and forth between the two. And so with vertical video, I think most people just like shorter form content. I know I do. TikTok is terrifyingly addictive though, but shorts is kind of the same thing here on YouTube. But it's kind of nice to just be able to go, you learn something real quick, and then that's it. Whereas if you're already sitting down at your computer, you're probably going to be there for a while, and it might be kind of cool. So Seth says, make sure you wear shorts in the new channel. I have some swimming trunks that have ukuleles on them. So who knows? Maybe you'll see those. I don't know that you want to. I don't think anybody really cares to see my legs. So we'll see what happens there. But it's an idea. I'm not going to wear short shorts though. I know that you made that comment earlier, but yeah, so I'm experimenting with that channel for a few reasons. One is because I'm just curious if it'll reach new people, because there are a lot of people that just don't view things the same way as they used to. So people are on their phones more often. They don't really want to hold their phones sideways, a lot of the time. So it's kind of just to give those people options, and hopefully to reach new people. And then if they want to watch longer form video, they can come to this channel, and I'm always going to link it over so that people can find it. So that's kind of the goal. Okay, and so Alan says you should do full Savage bass reviews or gear reviews. Yeah, so here I'm doing full reviews where I talk. I'm thinking over there, I'm just going to do the demos. So the long form content stuff will be the bamboo review that I did, these kinds of live streams, and just the arrangement videos, and some where I explain kind of what's going on in lesson videos. Whereas over there, I'm thinking I'm hardly going to talk at all on that channel. Geez, man, Seth, you're getting out there. But oh, and then Alan says full scale. So I might do some full scale stuff over there. I actually do. I've already done a couple full scale basses here, and I'll probably continue to do that over here. But with the other channel, what I'm probably gonna do is demo them. So the main idea there would be if I took all the demos from this channel and then recorded some new ones too, and then just put them up by their name, one by one on there, I could make a huge playlist out of them. And then somebody wanting to compare how the instruments just sounded and not really wanting to hear me talk about all the specs and all the other things, maybe they just want to do their own research, then they can go and listen to these things. And so if I have a really big playlist on there eventually, that's the plan, then people can do that. And then, I was asking, so I know some of you guys saw the poll that I released recently too. And that poll was just to see what kind of content I should do first. I'm really going to try all those things out. It's just the one that has the most votes is what I'm going to be putting more out of at first. But that's kind of the idea. Yeah. I should do more with the Warrior. Yeah, so the only thing is just kind of, it's, all these long scale versus short scale basses. It's like bass shorts on a short bass, and then having a whole bunch of long scale stuff might confuse people. But yeah, I'll probably do that here just because of the way I named the other channel. But we'll see. I might still do the demos over there. So I might, for instance, take clips like I did today. Take clips from this channel and put them on the other channel without the talking, right? So like any of the demos that I did, even on the jazz bass, and maybe even the Warrior, and some of those shorter videos that I did back in 2015, I think. I can't even remember. It was 2015, but I might still put those on there because they're still short videos, even though they're not on a short bass. But I think it'll be forgivable every now and then to do a full scale one over there. Just like over here, I can still do a full scale video every now and then, and I can still throw them into the streams, here and there, even though most of my content is going to be U-based content. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. Right, and so that's a good point. You have, or I should do vertical videos with the upright. When Instagram first introduced IGTV, the first thing I did was like record a video with the upright because I'm like, oh, I can fit the whole thing on here. And it did okay, but that's cool. So Robert, I'm calling it bass shorts on a short bass. So it's kind of a mouthful. I have to get 100 subscribers in order to actually have that name. And right now I think I'm at 5. So anybody that wants to go over there and subscribe, you'll help me get to that thing quicker. But I had that idea over here, and I really had that idea to do this kind of thing on TikTok a few months ago. And it's like, well, now every platform has a TikTok kind of thing. So what I really want to do is kind of expand it to all the platforms and be able to do bass shorts on a short bass everywhere. So that's kind of the goal right now. I put the link in the description, but I think this is still the link copied over. So this is still on YouTube. On Instagram, I'm Stephen Cox Music. Right now, I haven't made a bass shorts on a short bass channel in other places. I plan on doing that, but right now I'm really just doing this for YouTube. So that's kind of the goal right now. But the cool thing about it is the content I'm making here, I'm also posting to TikTok, although I haven't yet posted Canon to TikTok, but I'm posting them to TikTok and to Instagram as well. So that way, and with Instagram, I might just do it on the Reels, so it might be a shorter video, but we'll see. I might do the full minute long thing and do it on IGTV. Just seems like with the shorter videos, it makes more sense to do it on Reels. But the limit with doing these shorts is that they're going to be minute-long videos. So that means stuff that's longer than a minute, it'll probably still be on this channel. And I might just take sections. So like, for instance, if you watch the Canon video I posted today with the tabs above, I cut out the first part because the first part of Canon is like the most boring part, right? It's like the melodies really start happening the second time around the changes. And so to keep it under a minute, I cut off that first part. But of course, you can always still find that on this channel, on the original video. And Alan says, I saw your older videos. That Ibanez 6 is so cool. Yeah, so my plan right now is, to keep the Ibanez 6, although I haven't played it in probably more than 6 months at this point. Really, I haven't played many of the other full-scale basses since I got that jazz bass, because that's just been the tone I've been after. So I've kind of just stuck to that. And I tried boiling the strings. I did it more recently and had less luck the second time. First time, it really did help, because the strings were absolutely disgusting when I bought that bass. They had like green hair growing on the strings, like they were corroding. It was all sorts of, I don't know who owned the bass before me, but they obviously never took care of the strings. They were probably in a very, very humid environment. I mean, Georgia, it's pretty easy. Maybe they left it in their trunk. Who knows? Maybe they played with sticky hands every single time. Like maybe they never washed their hands before playing the bass or something. But the amount of dirt that came off those strings the first time I boiled them were crazy. But and then that Schecter is a really good one too. When I got that Schecter, it had that tone like this new one that I like. The problem with the Schecter is it was just so neck heavy that it was actually causing some like pain on my shoulder and a little bit in my hand. And that's the other problem with the Warrior. The reason I don't play the 6 string as much anymore, which the Ibanez I might still play because it's actually got a more narrow neck, but the Warrior I'm having to kind of put a little bit of an angle on my wrist in order to reach all the strings. And so I kind of prefer not having to do that. So it's been nice switching over to a 4 string. Okay, but to let you guys know, that channel is going to be kind of like my experiment with that. I've got some ideas that I might, at some point I would like to make a course for this channel. What I'm thinking about doing is I have that video that's like the ultimate beginner's first lesson. And what I was thinking about doing was just making some sheet music and maybe a little like booklet kind of thing that goes along with that. And then maybe slowly branching out from there, but just kind of starting with that. So that might be coming up. I think that'll be more for patrons, but we'll just kind of see what happens with that. But I'll do something with that. But the main thing is just the short content's going to be on all 3 platforms. So if you're on TikTok, I have Stephen Cox Bass as my account on TikTok. Stephen Cox Music on Instagram, and of course, Bass Shorts on a Short Bass is the new short form content one for YouTube. So let me know if you like that kind of idea, if you're interested in seeing the tabs on the screen while I'm playing like that. Because I think the main reason I don't do that on here is because I thought it'd be kind of nice, one, to see everything as it's coming, so you're able to see it ahead of time on here. And then the other reason that I don't usually do that is because the songs are usually pretty short, and if I make them that short, YouTube doesn't send them out to as many people. So sometimes I do it a second time like that to have the tabs on the screen, sure, and then also to kind of like break that over a minute requirement that kind of helps YouTube push it to people. But now that they're doing shorts, if it's vertical form, then they'll push it to more people. But if it's horizontal, they won't. So that's kind of the idea. So I'm just experimenting and working with the YouTube constraints to see what I can do to reach more people. So Seth has a question about the Shin. Okay, so we've got the Shin laminate model back there. Did you not like the finish of the Shin 88 model if you saw that, or even the Shin 100 model with the actual spruce laminate top? So I'm not really familiar with the 88 model at all. So I don't know anything about the 88 model. I'd have to look it up to even know. This bass is actually about 10 years old at this point. It's amazing to me that Ronald Sachs is I'm glad they're still in business, but it's cool because I mean it's been over 10 years. It may be more like 11 at this point since I rented to own that bass from them. And there was one time I had to anytime I've gotten it worked on, there's been 2 times I had to get something worked on. I brought it back to them and they did a great job. But I'm not sure about the 88 model. I know there's a hybrid model. If that's one of those, I just know it by the name, the hybrid model, where it's got the solid top. And that's probably the one you're talking about with the spruce top. Yeah, one of them's not a laminate top. It's just a solid wood top, but then the sides and the back are laminate. So if that's the model you're talking about, I do like that one better. It does project better. Obviously, having a solid top versus plywood kind of top, it's just going to project better. I think that's the reason the bamboo U-bass projects a little bit better and gets those clearer, higher tones. Is because if it's kind of a laminate material, which most of these other U-basses are probably closer to a laminate material than a solid material, it kind of absorbs some of those treble and mid frequencies, whereas the solid tops will kind of push that out there and at a good volume too. So I did like the idea of the hybrid model, and then my favorite, if I ever decide to upgrade and get one that's better than that one, is probably the Shin Willow. So I've played the 7/8 one, and I don't want one that big because it's just too much work on my hands. But there's one that's the same size as mine, a 3/4 Willow, and my bass teacher Robert Dixon he was at Georgia State when I went there, and his bass it feels like playing on mine, but it just sounds better. It projects louder acoustically. It's got some mids and high tones, whereas mine has kind of a darker tone. So I kind of like that one. But hopefully that helps you, Seth, with the differences on the Shin stuff. Okay. So Alan, when you had the chance, look at the Ibanez GSR 200 SM bass. Okay. Let me look it up. Ibanez GS. So you said GSR 200 SM. R200 SM. All right. That looks familiar. So the Ibanez bass is, oh, okay. I kind of like the finish. What finish do you have on yours? Because it looks like there's multiple finishes. There's one that I really like. Let's see. I wonder if I can do this. If I take the camera, which y'all are going to see the messiness of the room probably, but can you see that if I do that? I'm not sure. I don't really know about that. But that finish is really cool. So just thought I would kind of share that with you. If that's the one you have, that's a really cool finish. If you have a different color, then that's cool too. Oh, you have that one. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I really like the finish on that. That's a really nice looking bass. Yeah, I had did I ever have an Ibanez? I know I had two Yamahas. I've played so many Ibanezes over the years. But as far as four strings, I didn't really have a four string. I had a 5-string Ibanez when my first 5-string was a wood grain Ibanez. And if you go to, I had a channel before all these channels that was called Fuwa 7. So I'll just type that name in there, and you can search that, and you'll probably find some of the videos from there. And their videos, like the oldest one is the Funky Town one from like December 2006 or something. But you'll see the basses that I played there. The main one I played was a 5-string wood grain finish, and it was just a Soundgear 5-string model. I'm not sure what the exact number is on the back, you know, but those are cool. Those play well. So let's see, Franz or Franz. I'm gonna say both, and they'll tell me which one it is, or if it's totally different when I'm pronouncing it. What albums do you like, or music in general, that feature the U-bass? So honestly, I don't know enough albums that feature the U-bass. I know I asked people on U-Bass Freaks to give me some things that they've done, and I made a playlist on Spotify. And let me see if I can find that playlist on Spotify real quick. Maybe I can share the link or something. But, you know, I put out a couple songs, and so I tried to share them. But there were a few other people. I think, what's his name? Chip. There's a guy named Chip that's played U-bass, and he plays upright bass and electric bass too. And he kind of mixes those together and does some songs with that. For some reason, I'm having trouble finding my playlist. Wonder if I just type in the word U-bass. But if you have any albums that you like listening to that you know feature the U-bass, I am all ears. I'd love to add them to this. Oh, there is U-bass songs. So there were a couple people on there. Of course, Magnus, the guy that runs playubase.com. He's on there. Obviously, he's on my playlist too. So let me just copy the link. It may not let me share the link. I'll have to see if it lets me. Copy playlist link. It may tell me I can't post it. I'm not sure, but yeah, let me know if that works if you have Spotify. But basically, Magnus is on there, and then Chip Boaz, Boaz. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his last name, but there's that, and there's a couple of other people. I think there's another one that Magnus played on that's somebody else's name, but it's his thing. And then it looks like Jim Hanks. I put him on there too. So if you know any other people, that playlist is rather small, and I put one song of mine on there too. But if you know of any other people that have U-bass albums or songs up on Spotify, I would love to hear more. Always. Cool. So yes, that was cool. So just to sum up, the main thing news-wise that I wanted to mention was just the bass shorts on a short bass is the new channel for vertical content. And basically what I'm going to do is, I don't know how many I'm going to do a week. This week I've already done like 2 or 3, but it's easier to make those videos. So what I'm going to be doing is going through my list of songs and turning them into shorts, basically, for that channel. And then sooner or later, I'll start posting some like more original content on there that won't be on this channel as well, unless I do like a what am I trying to say? A collage, not a collage. You know what I mean though. A collection. There we go. I'll just call it a collection of songs. So that might be the thing, is I'll do a collection of the short videos, but I might still leave that on the shorts channel just because, you know, at that point, it'll just be easier to kind of scroll through. And then I'll also make playlists on there. And I'm thinking about how to do this, but the demos on the reviews, I know a lot of people are really complain about, I've heard this from friends too, about how people talk and talk and talk, and then you finally get to how the instrument sounds about a minute or two in the video, and it's really frustrating having to search through to find it. And even with the little annotations, it's still annoying having to go down to find it. So I was thinking like doing videos like bamboo U-bass electric test, bamboo U-bass acoustic test, you know, and it's no talking, just the clip, and then making a playlist out of that so that people that are just curious about how these different instruments sound can just scroll through and listen to them. But that's a long-term project. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to get halfway through those or not. But let me know if those ideas sound interesting to you guys. I know I put a poll up on it. And if you have any ideas for that shorts channel, I'm kind of excited about it because I get to experiment on that channel. So just let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see on there. You know, it could be things like when I did the 5 bass lines in 5 minutes here, I might try to do a couple videos or several videos over there where I just do one little bass riff and teach it. So there'll be a lot of different things on there. Let's see, vlog creations have a list of timestamps. Right, and I think I should. I'm gonna hopefully do that a little bit more often, because basically all you got to do is list out the timestamps and put it in the description. And I feel like that would help a lot with these live videos. If people are coming back to these live videos later trying to find something that maybe I can go through. I mean, honestly, it would take like days to do at this point because I've done almost a year of live streams. Can you believe that, guys? We're a month away from a year. Or really, maybe it's a month and a half or 2 months. But by the end of May, for sure, I will have done a live stream every week except for Christmas and New Year's since then. So we're getting close to 50. We've probably done 40 live streams, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So also, if you guys have things that you want to hear on these live streams, or if you want one dedicated to some sort of thing, let me know. I'm trying to come up with some ideas. It's hard to do like reaction kinds of things because I'm afraid that, you know, if you let the clips play too long, then YouTube will demonetize the video. And, you know, I mean, it's not like these live streams make a lot of money, but it's nice to have a little bit come through from them. But anyway, so I may not do reaction videos, but we could do stuff where I like prepare bass lines and stuff. So like if there's somebody you want to study how they play, that might be a fun idea for a live stream or something. Although playing their stuff on U-bass, we just got to kind of keep in mind which things might sound good on U-bass. Like the James Jamerson one went pretty well. But if you guys have stuff that you want to hear, always just leave them in the comments below if you're watching this after the fact. And, you know, you can always put them in the chat if you're watching right now. Cool. So I guess I'm going to play another song. Do you guys have a genre in mind, or do you have a just some kind of vibe that you'd like to feel, like to hear, that might create a mood or something, a cool mood? Kind of curious what kind of things would come up. Yeah, Alan, that's a good idea on the live stream polls. I kind of want to just do about one poll a week. So some of them might be for that. So we got some jazz. So let's get more specific with jazz. I could do like a swing kind of thing with a walking bass line. I could do something that's kind of like a funky sort of jazz thing. Or I could do some Latin jazz, bossa nova kind of stuff. Or just anything like that. So you or anybody else in the chat, if you guys want to suggest a style, let me know. Or a type of jazz, if we've already got that we're doing a jazzy thing. Because that could mean a lot of different things. I don't know, I might go with this thing that I just came up with. Let's see. Might be a weird loop, funk, jazz, or swing. Okay, I'm gonna try this little kind of thing out and see if it'll end up being funky or kind of slow or something. But I'll use some 7th chords, which will make it sound kind of jazzy. And I think I'm going to come back to that, Seth, unless this ends up sort of having that vibe or not. I kind of like this thing that I'm doing, so I'm just going to see if I can turn it into a loop. Oh, that's too trebly. Let's get rid of that drum beat. How do I make this more interesting? Nah, not quite. I like the first half, I'm not sold on the second half. yeah, that was kind of cool. So when I think of jazzy, I think of seventh chords or ninth chords or just anything with more than just root, third, and fifth. That's just a very basic concept with jazz. But in general, that's one thing that separates something. So someone says like play something that sounds jazzy versus play something that doesn't. Generally, the first thing I think of is, oh, I'm at least going to have seventh chords on there. Maybe I can add ninth chords to it as well. You know, just that kind of thing. But yeah, that was kind of fun. And then Seth says you need a pair of castanets. That would be pretty good. Yeah, so speaking of that chord progression, so basically I started with an F major 7. And I wasn't thinking about it being F. I just started playing at that point. So what it sounds like to me that's going on is like, I'm thinking about it like I'm in D minor. So basically in D minor, the relative major is F major. So I'm starting on the relative major. Then I'm going down to D minor. Then I'm going to its 2. But I'm not adding the note that makes it a half diminished chord, which it normally would be. But it could be. So I'm just kind of leaving it open-ended and not really shutting down what it is. So it's leaving it a little bit open-ended. And then playing an A7 chord at the end, which that A7 would normally lead back to the D minor, but I just had it cycle through at that point, which is kind of weird. Kind of breaks the rules a little bit, but it's not really, I don't know, it didn't sound bad. So it's kind of a pop idea to not resolve things directly. But it's, I don't know, it sounded kind of nice, so I just kept going with it. You could do that kind of thing to get back to F, to make it a little more clear. Kind of like that too. That's pretty cool as well. But yeah, that's a little tiny bit of theory behind it, for those that are curious about stuff like that. So let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, I think I've talked about chord shapes before, but it's been a long time. So when I'm doing chords on the bass, I generally leave out the fifth unless I'm playing power chords. So I'll play like in a seventh chord, you'd have the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. In general, I'll leave out the fifth because the fifth doesn't tell you any essential information about the chord. So the root, for instance, if you're playing an A major 7 or an A minor 7, we'll stick with A major 7. The A is the root. So you need that to kind of know that A is the chord that you're playing, right? Then the third tells you that it's a major chord. So if I say A major, okay, well, I know the triad is major by the C sharp and the A chord. So I kind of need that one. That's the third of the chord. Then the fifth of the chord is E. Well, E doesn't tell us what root we're playing. E doesn't tell us whether the chord is major or minor, because E would be in both of those. Both A minor and E minor, and it doesn't tell us anything about it, right? So we don't really need the E. And then of course we have our seventh, which in this case is G sharp, because we're doing an A major 7. So because of that A major 7, we have a G sharp there. So so that way I know that when I'm playing the notes there, I can leave out the E. So I can leave out the fifth of the chord. Root I can play, third I can play, and seventh I can play, but leave out the fifth of the chord. So I don't know why I was telling you guys an A major. That was just a random example. And this one I started with an F major. So the root is F. The third is A of the chord. The fifth would be C. But like I said, I'm going to leave that out. So plus I only need one note per string, and I'm only using 3 of the strings on here. And then the E is the major 7th. So F major 7. I'm playing an F, an A, and an E. And for those that don't know all the different notes on the neck, that's the 8th fret on the A string, 7th fret on the D string, and 9th fret on the G string. And I like using my pinky to play that note. Some people probably just use their ring finger. So I'm playing middle finger for the A string note, which is the F. Then pointer finger for 7th fret on the D string, which is our A note, which is the third of the chord. So many ways to say it. And then the 9th fret on the G string is an E note, which is our 7th of the F major 7 chord. So that's the pattern I'm using for my F major, or just for any major 7 chord, is this finger pattern where I have one finger here, go back one and down one string, and then from the original note, go 2 strings down, or 2 strings thinner rather, and then go up a fret. So if I do that shape, it's some sort of major 7 chord. And then whatever your middle finger is on makes it that major 7 chord. So this is a G major 7. Then if I just slide all the fingers down, keeping the same distance between each finger, then you get the idea. So all of those are major 7 chords. That's a major 7 shape. So let's see, what do we got here? You're the first uku bassist, so U-bass, I've ever met. What do you think of uku bass for reggae and dub music? Actually, it has a lot of low end. So if you, a lot of times with reggae music, you're going to take out a lot of the high end, and you're going to play, like a lot of guys playing reggae play through like an 18-inch speaker. And so they're not really concerned about the high end cutting through at all. It's really about this low kind of muffled sound that creates a really cool vibe. And the U-bass supports low end really well. So I think it'd be great for it. And I've played some reggae music on here and kind of made some like reggae kinds of loops and stuff, but I don't have the right speaker to really get that sound, you know, and I have a 15-inch speaker, so it kind of works okay, but it doesn't sound good through the mic on here. But yes, I think so Giuseppe, I think that that it would be great for it. And then Miguel says, "Hi, greetings from Chile." Well, thanks for tuning in. And yeah, it's always cool to me seeing how many people are from different places on here. So if you guys want to, just put into the chat like what country you're from or city. If you're in the United States, you could do city or state, even doesn't matter which. And like I'm in near Atlanta, Georgia. So just to give you an idea, I'm in the United States, just near Atlanta. But yeah, where are you guys at? Curious about that. So that's our major 7 chord. While y'all are answering that, I'll just go ahead and kind of explain the other shapes, right? So then I'm doing the same thing with the other chords where I'm leaving out the 5th, but this one's a minor 7th chord, D minor 7. So what I'm doing there, and I don't know if I always use these fingers to do it. Might actually be more comfortable to do that, which is ring finger, pointer finger, and pinky. Yeah, so Robert's near here. I know that because I know that sometimes you go by Uke Republic. Hear about it every now and then when I stop by there. So got someone from British Columbia and Montana. Awesome. It's cool seeing where everybody's at. So the D minor 7. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. You do 5th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the D string, and 5th fret on the G string. And so our root is D. Then our 3rd from the minor scale, if we're playing D minor, 1, 2, 3. That 3rd note would be an F. So I'm moving that F down here so it's on a different string than the root. So I can play both of them at the same time. And then our 7th, well, sorry, I should tell you your 5th first. Our 5th is A. That's the one we're leaving out. And then our 7th is C. So that's the C note down here, 5th fret on the G string. So that is our D minor 7. So far we've got, and I'll go over the finger picking pattern in a second. It's funny, I'm teaching something I just came up with. This reminds me of last week where I wrote a song, right? And then, so the next one's an E minor 7, same shape that we did with the D minor, just shift every note up 2 frets. So keep the same finger formation, just slide it up 2 frets. And then we've got our A dominant 7th chord. So dominant 7th chord has a major 3rd, so the 3rd from a major scale, but a flat 7th, which is more like the 7th of a minor scale, of A minor specifically, A minor. So what I'm doing right here is I'm playing the root here. I'm playing the 7th here. So the 7th of A is G, and that's that flat 7 that we're talking about. And then the 3rd of A is C sharp. I'm going to play that up the octave up here so it's less muddy rather than playing it down here, which is a little muddy if I play it all at once. But if I take the C sharp up the octave, then it's a little bit cleaner. So what I'm doing here is 5th fret on the E string, 5th fret on the D string, and then 6th fret on the G string. And so that's all the chords. F major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, A7. And then I'm doing some sort of little finger picking thing where basically my thumb is getting whatever the lowest string is that I'm fretting on the left hand. So what I'm doing here is thumb is getting the A string, pointer finger is getting the D string, middle finger is getting the G. So I'm just going thumb, thumb, pointer, middle, pointer with this rhythm. Bop, 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 bop. 1 E and a 2. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and I think it's on the E. 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. Yeah, so it's 1 E and a 2 E. So that last note's on the E after beat 2. For those that are curious about the rhythm. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. So then this changes on the down to the D minor. But you get the idea. Just listen for the rhythm. I don't want to explain the whole thing because it just takes too long. And that was basically what I was doing. Wow. Now my fingers are locking up. So that's what I was doing in there. And then when I made up the bass line, I just tried to do something in the low register. And the way I'm plucking already gives it more like low end. So that kind of helps. Yeah. So that's cool that it sounds kind of like Thundercat to you. It's much easier than anything that Thundercat does. But it's kind of fun anyway. Oh, and very cool. So Giuseppe's from Italy. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Like we can all just hang out and we're in, at least the people that commented, you know, we're in, so you got Canada represented, Georgia represented, Italy represented. So, and then Montana. So as far as different states go, it's pretty far spread out in the United States from Montana to Georgia. So we've got a good distance between that at the United States and then all these other people around the world. So that's pretty cool that the U-Bass kind of has reached everywhere and that you guys have all somehow found this channel. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. And if you have any questions, just let me know once again. Might be kind of fun to do another jam unless you guys have some questions right away. So I'm going to, I always do these same songs, but I'm going to play Green Tea just because I like doing that one a lot. And the only time I ever really play it is on these live streams. I'm going to change my tone a little though. Not too fond of that tone. So I loop it. Yeah, good. You can't hear the slaps in there. All right. So I forgot to plug in the sustain pedal from the piano. I use it to be able to turn the loop pedal off without having to double click. But double clicking is kind of it's kind of a hard way to stop the sound there. I was planning on kind of stopping it and then going back into the green tea instead of just jamming on the one chord. But that kind of changed a little bit. Yeah. So Alan, I wrote that one on upright. So that's why it kind of has more of a sound there, because drumming on the body here, you don't get a lot of low, deep tones. Whereas on the upright, you can get some like very different sounds on drumming on different parts of the body. So even though I wasn't doing that much there, it's just kind of, you get a more full sound when you do that. And then of course, just the tone is great and everything. Yeah. So as far as making a sequel to it called Black Tea, I was trying to think what other kind of drinks that I really like that I could make a song out of instead of just green tea. So green tea is one of my favorite drinks, although I don't drink it that often. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but it probably wouldn't be black tea, even though tea is, pretty good. So I'll think about it and come up with something. But yeah. So that one's kind of fun. Once again, doing chords on the bass is kind of a good thing. It's funny. I know the Rugrats theme really uses thirds, but that reminded me of it for some reason. I can't even think about it all at once. Yeah. Ah, dang. What is it? I think it's like something at the end. But yeah, it's just kind of fun sometimes, just messing around with things like that. So I probably asked all you guys this on the poll. You guys probably already answered some of these questions. But which string do you prefer out of all the ones that you've gotten to play, if you've gotten to play multiple strings? Or which ones do you think you'd prefer if you haven't had a chance to try all of them out? So let me know on the side over there in the chat. And it's on the side of my screen. So there you go. But and also, I haven't seen too many ideas, but if anybody has any creative ideas for the shorts videos, let me know. I'm thinking about doing just kind of like simple tutorials too. Okay, Alan likes round wound. Yeah, so the round wound are great if you can get past the string noise. When the strings get older, there's less string noise, but let me go ahead and switch basses to the exotic mahogany so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about a little bit. All right. But it's great for some things, for sure. Slapping, for instance, is one that sounds the most like an electric. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Volume seems a little lower on this one. Tune up real quick. The good news is it stayed in tune. So. So Seth said he loves his Thunder Reds and he doesn't know why. I've heard that the Thunder Reds are really good. I personally like the way they look. I think the aesthetic is great. And I've heard they're slightly less sticky, although I've also heard some people say not that much less. And I've heard kind of mixed reviews about them, but most people really like them that I've heard, that I've talked to. So I would like to try those out at some point. And maybe, maybe I'll get a pair at some point, a set of them at some point. That'd be funny to just have two of them on here and then have two totally other strings. That might be kind of a funny video. What if I had a U-bass that I set up with a different string for each string? Yeah, and so Seth says they're not really sticky. And I think that's the reason for the material and for the, was it copper that they put in them or something? Is that they were trying different things out to make them less sticky, but still have that tone. So that's cool. But yeah, these round wounds, these have actually been on here for I've had the bass for about 3.5 years. So these have been on here for 3.5 years. I got this one from Uke Republic as well with the strings already on there. So the strings are a little bit more dead, which I think is why it's so quiet in comparison to the other bass, because I have the volume pretty high up. But as the strings get a little bit more dead, then you lose a little bit of the string noise, but you still retain kind of some cool sounds about the string. It does sound like a miniature acoustic electric bass. I kind of like them now that they've kind of been broken in this much. When they haven't been broken in, they're a lot more noisy. So let's see. Robert says he's only played the round wounds, just got a set of flat wounds, but haven't put them on yet. Cool. Yeah, I think you'll like some things about the flat wounds. So the difference between the flat wounds and the round wounds is, as you can tell, the tone is brighter with the round wounds. But with the flat wounds, it sounds a slight bit more muted, which is kind of a cool tone for, I don't know, just playing some classic songs, playing anything from Motown to the Beatles. If you want to pick on the flat wounds, I think they're good for that kind of slightly muted sound picking, rather than this, which would sound really aggressive, right? That's without a pick. If I use my thumbnail, that sounds a lot more like a pick. Yeah, so I don't play this one enough, but the exotic mahogany is a slightly more expensive model, and so I think it gets some tones out of it that you just can't really get from the cheaper ones. Oh yeah, I don't have enough to get the right harmonics out. Barracuda. But yeah, it's kind of fun messing around with this. Maybe I'll make up some sort of thing on here. Can't remember. I'm trying to remember some Megadeth. I don't know very much. That almost sounds like it. Was that P Cells? I wonder if that's in here. It's not. All right. So does anybody else have any questions? Like, it could be questions about the round wound strings, questions about how to play something, just any kind of questions you got. My fingernails are a little bit longer, so I can actually get them to give an extra attack on the string, which is kind of nice. Was it? Yeah, so slides kind of hurt on there. That's another thing to know if you're doing it on the E string. Not too bad, but they hurt a little bit. Okay, so yeah, Metallica, make it sound like a Rickenbacker to get some Motorhead. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And then, do you know some Mellowship Slinky in B minor? I'm not sure what that is. I've actually never heard it. Mellowship Slinky. What is that? May have to put headphones in and pull it up on my phone to hear it, so I know what it sounds like. Let's see what we can do. I'm not promising I can pick out Red Hot Chili Peppers that quickly, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I can. A really hard flea part, probably not, but maybe if it's not too bad. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Got advertisements. So I'm on YouTube talking to you guys through an advertisement that's happening on here. Here we go. Skip ads. Start with the intro. Maybe if I listen to it slowly. So if you guys don't know this, You probably do, though. You can slow down a song by doing the settings and the playback speed on YouTube. Dun, dun. Sounds tricky. Okay, I think I've got it now. It's kind of cool. So we got something like, I'm not sure which one. I think it's the fifth, though. Yeah, so that's pretty cool right there. So yeah, that's the B major part. The intro, I'm like, how is this B major? But that part's totally the third, the root, the fifth, and the root down there. Something like that. But yeah, that's a really cool one. I like that one. There might be a note that changes within there, and I just didn't quite catch it, but that's okay. It Keeps You Running by the Doobie Brothers. Okay. Cool, cool. But yeah, playing flea bass lines is always fun, right? So what's your favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers line? Just everybody, if you want to mention that on the side. So that's a good one. Flea has a lot of really cool lines. So the Doobie Brothers one, I'll have to look it up. Let's see. Let me try it on Spotify so I don't have to wait through ads. It's funny. I don't pay for YouTube Premium, but I do pay for Spotify, so I can do that on there. And basically, the reason I pay for Spotify is playing in the wedding band. We have to learn so many songs on there that it's just so much easier to just kind of like have Spotify and not have to sit through ads and waste a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, Higher Ground's a fun one. Their version of it's really awesome. So you said It Keeps You Running by the Doobie Brothers. Let's see what we got. Okay, well, the intro, once it gets to the video game part at the beginning, sounds like video game music. Look at that. that kind of thing going on. And it sounds fretless, I think. Oh. So I'm just going to talk through that one a little bit. Let me just talk through that one for a second. So a lot of that line is doing some cool things that happen in a lot of bass lines. So if you remember the Motown episode that I did where I talked about they use the fifth and the sixth a lot, they do a lot of pentatonic stuff. So this one's doing a lot of pentatonic things too. We're just going root, 5th, 6, 1, 5th, 6, 1, 6, 5, root, 5th, 6, 1. But the way it comes in, it's kind of doing this cool thing where it slides from the flat 3 into the normal major 3. So you got that kind of thing happening every now and then, but most of the lines just that kind of thing. You know, so it's using some cool techniques there. So I don't have it completely memorized or anything, but that's a good takeaway from that one. And then let's see, what else do we got? So what's another one? Andre Cavani, message retracted. That's a fantastic bass line. Yeah. So cool. So those are some good ones. Good requests, good bass lines. But yeah, I think that's probably about it for today, unless you guys have something else you want to hear in particular. Oh, Mudvayne. Geez, I'm not sure if I could do Mudvayne on the 4-string without detuning. I don't even know if it's. I don't think it's in standard. That is a very heavy band. I saw them live one time. Let's see what key it's in so I can tell what the drop tuning would have been. I'm not going to do the drop tuning. I think it's A flat. Let's see. Can't really tell. One of those doesn't sound like they're quite in tune with the bass. Let me tune this and see if I'm out of tune. It's either B or let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna work too hard on that one, but that one would be kind of cool. Can you conclude with something simple like "Kind of Blues" by John Coltrane? Or I could do some a different Coltrane tune. Would be kind of fun. Let me see if I can do something with the loop pedal real quick. I don't know. I think I left out one part at the end. Have to wait till next time through to come in. So Paul Chambers did some like whole steps on this. Oh, yeah, I left it out. All right, so there's a little bit of giant steps. Something not too bad. Yeah, I got to remember the bump at the end. So that whole thing at the end. I'm just gonna do one time around this time and hopefully get it right. Trying to think of, I can't even jump in at all. So I'll just start over from where. Here we go. Yeah, I cut the timing short a little bit at the end, but had to do a tiny bit of giant steps or something instead. But I thought that might be kind of fun to conclude with a little John Coltrane of some sort. I missed that a lot too at the end. Yeah. So I had it the first time through, and then it's just hard to hit the loop pedal right at the right time with that. But now that I've got it, I can do it. But the cool thing about the bass line on that, which I'm kind of making up, just improvising certain parts of it. But Paul Chambers, yeah, quarter notes at that tempo actually are kind of tough because dun 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 dun, right? You've got half notes, then quarter notes, half notes. Yeah. So yeah. So basically what's going on there, the chords are moving in thirds. Sorry. Except for that one. So sometimes thirds, sometimes fourths, but the key center is kind of moving like that. So what Paul Chambers or maybe Coltrane figured out was that the bass line could hit the root of the first chord, the fifth of the second chord. So root here of the B chord, the fifth of the D chord, then the root of the next chord, the fifth of the next chord, and then the root of the next chord. And so you have that line that just goes down in whole steps. So it's like a whole tone scale going down. So root of the B chord, fifth of the D chord, root of the G, fifth of the B flat chord, and root of the E flat chord, and then just walk normally when you get to the other parts. And that way you lock in with the melody, and then you just walk through the rest of it. So it's kind of a cool thing about giant steps is that he figured out that he could just literally go down in whole steps and literally outline the chords in a cool way. However, he's hitting the fifth, which you don't normally want to do on the downbeat in a walking line or anything, but it works really well in giant steps because he's also taking whole steps the whole time, right? So they're not huge steps. They're not like the thirds that Coltrane's kind of talking about, but they're rather large steps, considering they're all whole steps going backwards instead of just going scalar, which we're used to hearing chromatics and bass lines, or we're used to hearing some other things. So it's kind of cool that he chose to do that. But that's getting a lot more theoretical, I'm sure, than we got to worry about too much. But yeah, so that's a classic Coltrane song, completely the opposite kind of, maybe not the opposite kind of music, because that one's still fast, and I guess the Mudvayne song is still fast, but just totally different mindsets to come from playing like metal music and hard rock and stuff, and then go into Coltrane. Hard bop to hard rock, right? But that's pretty much it for today. So you know, I hope you all enjoyed this. Thanks for hanging out for really like an hour each week. It's pretty cool that all you guys hang out. So KR, Alan, Seth, it's good to see you guys again. Robert, a lot of regulars in here. Miguel, Giuseppe. Let's see, who else? Ruby, I think I missed your comment earlier, so I'll just go ahead and say something about it. I like the portability of the U-Bass, but it kind of defeats the purpose if I need to use a large amp to get a good sound. Are there any small amps you recommend? Okay, so sorry I missed that one earlier. If you're still here, I'm answering the question. If you're watching it later, just know, you know, I try to answer all the questions in here. As far as small amps, if you're trying to have a small amp to jam with a bigger group, it's probably not the greatest idea if they're loud, if they're also amplified. If they're not amplified, things like the Roland, there's a bass version of Roland's Microcube amp, and if you can get the bass version of the Roland Microcube, that one's pretty good. I think some other people have looked into some Phil Jones stuff that's kind of smaller, but the Roland one is battery powered, which is kind of nice if you're just playing with a small group. Cool. Well, thank you guys, as always, for hanging out. I appreciate that. And if you have any other questions, you can always leave them below. Check out the Shorts channel if you want just kind of short little things to watch. And you can always comment just pretty much anywhere. YouTube kind of notifies me if there's a comment on something, of any ideas that you have for shorts that you want to see, because they don't take as long to make. So, you know, if there's some ideas that you think I can do in under a minute, let me know, and I'll try to make those for you guys. And if you can, subscribe to that channel. It'd be nice to get that other channel up to 100 so that I can get the YouTube URL so that it just says bass shorts on a short bass, so instead of some random series of numbers. So that's kind of the goal there. And yes, I probably won't be wearing shorts on the bass shorts channel, but I might at some point. It would be funny to get some bass shorts. So like some shorts that have fish on them might be kind of cool. But I will see you guys next week. Thank you always for hanging out, and have a good week. I will see you on Tuesday for the next video and the live stream. And I'll have a lot of shorts probably coming out in the meantime, because I'm just having fun kind of picking which ones to do and making those. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.